Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Rick Kamla. It is Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. He's back. It is the Fantasy NBA today. I see the Masters cap. You were at the Masters. We were trying to text, but of course, they don't allow you to have cell phones at the Masters because they're stuck in 1885. So how was it, bro? Was it a good time?
Oh yeah, it's incredible. And you're right, man. I've been in a black hole for like 48 hours because I was in the hospital having tests done all day on Tuesday, and then Wednesday morning at 4 o'clock, me and my boy left for Augusta in my car. So it was 3 hours of me driving and no cell phone there, and then left my cell phone in the car for 9 hours, and then drove back home for 3.5 hours with no cell phone, and had a grandbaby handed to me when I walked in the door. So I've been in a black hole. I did watch Luca. I got home in time to see the Luca show last night, which I'm sure you enjoyed. But yeah, dude, the Masters is amazing, and honestly, I hope they never allow cell phones on the course because it's so old school, and so there's so many rules, but they're cool. It's an awesome place. I love it.
You've got to just stand there and be quiet and watch golf, don't you? That's pretty much the rules there, right?
No, man. You walk around. You can go get a $1.50 sandwich or a $5 beer. It's cool though. It's incredible. There's a reason that it's the hardest ticket in sports.
So I'm happy you went there, Doc. I know you're a huge golf fan and a big man. How many Masters have you been to, by the way?
I've just been to two Wednesdays. So the tournament starts on Thursday. So I was at the practice rounds, but I was on the hallowed grounds and I got to see the course and ran into Jim Nance, ran into Annika Sorenstam. It's just fun. It's just a cool place.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. So, Doc, let's keep it rolling here, man. If we start with our Magic Man of the night, and I have a feeling I already know who you are going with.
Yes, you do. Rick, I'm going to tweet out the link to this show, and then I'm going to tell you that Soren and I sat down to watch Luka versus Dallas in Dallas. I'm sure you all have seen it. They do the intros for the four starters, and then they get to Luka, and the camera's right in his face, and they play this tribute video to him, and he asks a dude for a towel, and he's wiping tears away, and it was a great video. I mean, it's very clear that he did not want to get traded. He misses Dallas. He misses his friends and family and all that. And then he proceeded to go out and drop bombs in their eyes. The final tally was he hit 16 of 28 shots, 7 3-pointers, 7 of 10, had 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals for a guy who doesn't play defense, according to some people in this room right now, and just had an incredible night. The Lakers won. These Western Conference standings, just the race to get to the playoffs. There's so much drama. There's so many teams that are still fighting for position. We got the Michael Malone being fired. We got Taylor Jenkins fired. We got the Luka trade. By far, one of the more interesting NBA seasons that I can remember in a long time.
There's no doubt, dude. There's no doubt. There's been, Ja Morant, all the stuff with him, dude. There's been so much dramatic stuff going on. Jimmy Butler getting traded to Golden State. I mean, they lost last night because your guy Harry B making the buzzer beater. I thought of you when I saw that hit, Doc. I'm not going to go with Luka. Just like, I mean, it is what it is. Who's the Magic Man last night? It's Luka, okay? But we like to give you content. We like to go in some different directions here. So I'm going to hit you with Ivica Zubac. Doc, Ivica Zubac had 20, 11, and 10. He had a triple-double. Zubac had a triple-double. He had a steal. He shot 9 of 13. I've got like a handyman truck right below my apartment. Can you hear that right now?
No, but that is a championship winning stat line from Zubac right there.
Yes, it is. It sounds like they're cutting down a sequoia tree right outside of my apartment right now. Hey, apartment living, you got to go with it, man. But Zubats has helped me win back-to-back Cam Dynasty championships. Love the dude, super consistent. Seems like he never misses a game, Doc, ever. And just a robot out there, 20, 11, and 10. So that's my magic, man.
You know what I like? I like about Zubac is you don't ever see him on Sports Center. You never hear about him. You never hear him talk. You never see him. And he just goes out there every single night. It reminds me of Vucevic a little bit, and just a workhorse. And you know, he's a great anchor for that Clippers team that has Norm Powell and James Harden. I don't know, man. Kawhi Leonard. I like the Clippers.
I know you do. You are on the Clippers, and I can't wait until let's see who are. I mean, we have no idea who the Clippers are going to play, but they're going to be in a first-round playoff series, and it's going to come to a Game 5 and a Game 6, and James Harden is going to shoot 3 of 15 for the 37th time, and the Clippers are going home. All right, it is Cam, it is Doc. Yes, we have Doc back, and we're all rejoicing and excited about that. Let's get into must-add players, Doc. Who you got, brother?
Well, real quick, before we do that, because we're only covering the guys that played on Wednesday night for these pickups, there are a bunch of teams that still have 3 games left this week. They play tonight, and then everybody plays Friday and Sunday. So the teams with 3 more games this week are Memphis, Minnesota, the Pelicans, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Indiana, New York, Detroit, Atlanta, and Brooklyn. Like, those are the places, if games played matter to you, those are the places I would start if you're trying to get a game advantage for the rest of the season. As far as what happened last night and what's going to happen over the weekend, Boston rested everybody again, and I don't think this is going to be the last time we see that. Peyton Pritchard started, had 15 points, 10 assists. Luke Cornett had 14 points, but only had 3 boards. He had a block and a steal. He started. I think Al Horford might be done until the playoffs. I like Luke Cornett a lot right now. And if any of the Celtics starters sit, any of the guards, I think you want to roll with Pritchard right now. Yeah, Rick, they're doing some work out there, aren't they?
Oh, so sorry you're hearing this now. Oh my gosh. They were here yesterday blowing leaves around the yard without ever picking them up. There's just piles of leaves everywhere. They just come and blow. It's like, do you have a shovel? Do you have something that could remove the leaves? Okay. Anyway, sorry about a random complaint there. Doc, let's talk about Harrison Barnes, dude. Let's talk about Harrison Barnes. Bro, so I talked about him yesterday, right? And it's like these stat lines and these box scores keep accumulating from him. And obviously, it's no Fox, it's no Wemby. You know, it's been stripped kind of bare there. And so Harrison Barnes, like, looking around like, all right, screw it. I'm just going to go for 20 every night. Doc, he had 20 last night, had a steal, made 6 threes, made the buzzer-beating 3-ball at the end of the game to completely shock Draymond, Butler, and Steph, who all played well last night. It was the Golden State others that did not play well. And San Antonio had other ideas, right? Second of a back-to-back. I thought Golden State was going to smash them, and San Antonio went out there and won. But Harrison Barnes was the hero. Doc, he has become a championship week hero for people. He's scored 20 or more points in 5 of the last 6 games. He's rolling right now.
You and Andre will love this story. So I had a little parlay going last night, and it was Harry B to hit more than, I think, 1.5 threes, which he crushed with 6 of them, including the game-winning shot in their eye. I had Steph Curry over 24.5 points. That hit. And at the very end, I just threw in a Warriors win. Like, all they had to do was win. They're a 15.5 point favorite. All that gains me in this parlay is like an extra $2 or $3 if it hits. And the Warriors lost after being favored by 15.5, and I lost the parlay because of that stupid decision. I knew you guys would like that. Harry B's killing it, man. And I had him written down on my list as well. What do you want to talk about? Do you have Sixers on your list? I assume.
I have Doughton on my list. You wanna talk about Jeff Doughton and his 30.3 assists, 4 steal, 4-3 game in 29 minutes. And Aaron Brewski brought this to my attention earlier this week. He said Doughton has 2 more games remaining in the NBA on his 2-way contract. And I was like, I'd given up on Doughton. I already thought he'd used up his NBA games. And Brew was like, no, he's got 2 games left. One of them was last night, the game that I just told you about. Philly has 2 games left. He can play in one of those 2 games. So Doughton looks like a pretty good streamer if we can find out which of those games he's playing. And I presume the only way we'll be able to do that, Doc, is if he's named as a starter for that upcoming game.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I don't think he's really a pickup because unless games played don't matter to you. But if they matter, I don't think you want a 1-game guy. He's like one of the only ones out there like that. But Adem Bono went off again. Jared Butler started, and he crushed. Lonnie Walker crushed again too. I mean, there's a lot of streamers between like Philly and the Nets and Washington, like and New Orleans. Like if you can find the guys that are starting on any given night for those 4 teams and just use them all because they're all kind of going off and they're all available in a lot of leagues.
What about Jonathan Mobo, dude? What about Jonathan Mobo? Triple-double last night. 17, 10, and 11. 3 steals, 1 3. He flirted with a triple-double, Doc, in his previous game. And Pirtle is out. Scotty Barnes did come back and play last night, which I applauded. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. I thought he was done for the year. But Brew was talking up Mobo earlier in the year. I wasn't really seeing it or listening, but he's had back-to-back extraordinary games, dude.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that I did not get a text from Aaron Brewski last night, just simply stating Mobo. Yeah, Mobo, a triple-double from that guy is incredible. It's actually exciting for the future. Like Mobo might be a player 2 years from now that's being drafted in every league. And then Orlando Robinson and Jared Rhoden is a guy I would keep an eye on too and think about because I think the Raptors are going to start, giving guys a rest and there's nothing left to play for and just let these other guys go out there and play. I think Rhoden in a deep league, if your waiver wires bare, could be a guy that could really help you this weekend. But Mobo for sure, man, he's rolling right now.
So I agree with all of that. So it was interesting last night. RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly started the game. They both played moderately well. They each played 14 minutes. They did not play in the second half. I was wondering if Masai Ujiri went to Darko Rakovic at halftime and said, that's it. Boop, we're pulling the plug. So I don't know if Agbaji and I'm losing track of the guys here. They do these combo rest things, but they've kind of gotten away from this a little bit now because Pirtle didn't play last night. Quickly did. All right, so the pattern they have shown us to me with last night has been disrupted here. So I don't know what Toronto's going to do. But I have a feeling Doc is onto something here that Toronto has 2 games left. Scotty Barnes may just be like, yo, I'm a warrior. I'm a gamer. I want to play. The team may also take his shoes away from him. Okay. I don't know. But Doc's right about Jared Rhoden. He popped up a month or 2 ago, had a series of good games. We were like, Jared Rhoden, we got to get him in 30 deep, blah, blah, blah. 23, 7, and 4 last night with 3 threes. AJ Lawson, what at that same time when Rhoden was kind of spiking, AJ Lawson was kind of spiking. AJ Lawson was good last night, 14, 6, and 7, a steal and 2 threes. So we're just bringing these guys to your attention. If you find out that for the next Toronto game, no Barnes, no Pirtle, no Barrett, no Quickly, you can go ahead and fire these guys up. And I'm trying to think. Shed also did not play last night. So has Shed been shut down? Is he getting star treatment? I don't know. We're in sort of the land of the lost right here with this. But A.J. Lawson, Orlando Robinson, Jared Roden, Jonathan Mobo. They are the guys that if they strip it bare, they're gonna be goody guys here in the last couple of games for Toronto, Doc.
Yeah, it's funny. I had on my drop list for today, I had Quickly and RJ Barrett with a question mark so that we could discuss it. Because I did not like that 14 minutes, man. Like, that is a red flag. If nothing else, they are fallers. I would not be surprised if Toronto was pulling the plug on those two guys and is just going to let the kids play these last two games. And the other thing, where we're talking about these last two games, every single team in the NBA plays on Friday and Sunday. So these are not streaming opportunities. What you're looking for at this point is who has the best chance at hitting a home run for you on Friday or Sunday. And if all those guys are out for Toronto, then Mobo he might be a better guy for you to have in your lineup than a guy like Bradley Beal, who the Suns have tanked themselves out of the playoffs. Like, it's over. And Bradley Beal, who knows if he's going to play on Friday and Sunday. So it's really going to take some detective work. I'm sure if Rick were playing this week, which maybe you are, you're going to be setting alarms. You're done. But if you're playing this week, set your alarms, 6 o'clock. Go to expected lineups that are out there. Go to
the Sports Ethos app.
Yeah.
All I got to do.
Find out who's playing and then act accordingly.
Doc, my work is done, brother. My work is done.
Mine too. I'm all up in baseball now.
Cam Dynasty chip, check. Both cash leagues, chip, check. Both Yahoo public leagues. I lost one game all year in the two leagues, check. 5 chips, bro. It's a good year for your boy Cam. It's a good year.
I had a good year too. I got to the championship round in 30 deep and lost. I didn't have it. There's nothing I could do. He just beat me. Got to the championship round in a new league, 14-team league I'm in. Lost. Nothing I could do. And got to another championship match in another league. And so I didn't win them, but I got money coming back. So broke even on fantasy, whatever.
There you go, dude. There you go, dude. And you were at the Masters yesterday, which is pretty damn cool. Doc, Davion Mitchell did it again, man. 2 games left for the Miami Heat. 17, 3, and 8. 1 block, 4 steals, 2 threes, 36 minutes. Davion has carved out a nice little role for himself. It's odd that a bench player plays mid-30s minutes. He's the only guy in the league doing this. Think about that, Doc. Nobody else in the league is coming off the bench every game and playing 33 to 35 minutes a night. He's the only guy. He's one of one. But the numbers are absolutely fantastic, Doc, and he is ascending. I think he's more than a silly season hero. I think the Heat have found something. So I thought about playing the Kobe White point prop over last night, right? And I didn't. You know why? Davion Mitchell. And then Kobe White goes out and shoots, 5 of 14 or whatever it is, okay? So, like, they call him night off. Like, he does create nights off for these terrific guard scorers.
You know, it's funny because we talked about Keon Ellis being that guy all year long, every show. And we never talked about Davion Mitchell until, like, last week. I was like, hey, Rick, have you looked at Davion Mitchell's game log? You're like, holy he's balling, and he's still balling. I didn't like the fact that he didn't start that game for the Heat, but he played plenty of minutes, had tons of production, man. That is another fat stat line. And, you know, Miami is one of 3 teams in the East who still have something to play for. So I think Davion's good to go these last 2 games. Agreed,
dude. Let's talk about Matisse Thybulle, Doc. Denny Avdia did not play last night. Simons did not play. Jeremy Grant did not play. Of course, Ayton did not play. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Maybe that's it. But, Banton remains in the starting lineup. He didn't have a good game last night, but Matisse Thybulle got thrust into the starting 5 with Denny Avdia being out, Doc. 12, 4, and 6, 2 steals, 2 threes, 38 minutes. You may scoff, but Matisse Thybulle's a goody guy. Not you. I'm talking about to our audience here. Hi, we're the Fantasy NBA Today. Hall of Famer Steve Alexander, Rick Kamla. What's up? A few days left in the regular season. It's closing time. for your fantasy championships if you all are still balling this week. But I don't know. I feel like maybe, I mean, like, come on. Simons has been shut down at this point, right? And I sniffed that out last week with the forearm thing, picked up Banton. He helped me close the deal on some chips. And now Denny Avdia has been added to their collection of guys that are sitting. I think Portland has finally pulled the plug, Doc. I think we've seen the last of Denny. We've seen the last of Simons. And I think Thibault's a pretty good pickup right now.
Yeah, is it Jabari? Who's the Jabari on that team? Is it Jabari Walker?
Yes, Jabari Walker.
So
And they dusted off Rayanne Rupert last night.
And Rayanne Rupert. And
I'm sure Andre's going to have the pronunciation guide on his first name here.
I think it's Ryan. I'm going to go with Ryan. But those are guys: Banton, Jabari Walker, Matisse Thybulle, and Ryan Rupert. Yep, Ryan Rupert.
There you see. Rupert. I knew it, man. I knew I was screwing up his name. He's French. Ryan.
Those are the guys. And I think Denny's done. I think he had an incredible year. He's hurt. It's over. Just shut him down. I think he's done.
Oh, Andre is the best. Not Rupert. It's not Rupert. Dude, my grandparents, my mom's maiden name is Rupert. My grandparents' last name was Rupert, right? So that's just hilarious to me. Rupert. So was Virgil and Kathy Rupert. Those are my grandparents, man.
Hey, Rick, how about Rudy Gobert?
How about a little Rudy Gobert? Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, Doc. Okay, we got to talk about this, dude. We got to talk about this. It might be time to drop Russell Westbrook, Doc. Jalen Pickett last night, 18 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 1 steal, 5 threes, 31 minutes. They love leaving him in the corner. Teams love not guarding him in the corner because he's Jalen Pickett. And they're like, bro, we're going to give you that all night. Well, Jalen Pickett made Sacramento pay for that strategy last night. So, Doc, we have a new coach in David Adelman. And if you want to go on a rant about Michael Malone, take your swings. I'm talked out. I'm fatigued. I've already done that many, many times here on this awesome platform, Sports Ethos. So Russ played 17 minutes last night, Doc. Pickett played 31. So that's linear. That means, Russ played no minutes at the 2. Okay. He played only backup 1 minute. Buzzkill. And Doc, that with coaching changes come rotation changes. And there was no rotation change with Jokic, Gordon, Porter, Brown. The only Peyton Watson played out 25 minutes, whatever it was. The only rotation decision that I ascertained was Russell Westbrook playing no minutes outside of the backup 1. So he looks like a drop to me. Jalen Pickett now suddenly looks like a pickup to me because Malone said right before he was canned that they were hopeful that Jamal Murray would be ready by the playoffs. That tells me that Jamal Murray is probably not going to play the rest of this regular season. Talk to me.
Well, that's what's really interesting about Westbrook. If Jamal Murray's out, I think the mindset all year has been you roll Westbrook out there and let him rip. And it looks like that dream might be over. So, yeah, I've got Pickett written down. He had a very nice game. I don't know, man. I could see Russ bouncing back in the next one, but like you said, new coach, Pickett's playing well. They like him. I think Denver, Jokic probably likes having him out there. That game last week that Russell missed that layup and had the foul and kind of screwed up that whole win that they had in their hands. I wonder if that impacts this at all. Like, I wonder if Jokic was like, I don't need this guy out here messing up all the work that we put in when I had 60 whatever points in that huge stat line and we lost. So, I have Westbrook as a potential drop, and I have Pickett as a potential pickup.
All right, so we're on the same page with that. Doc, so can you pull up Washington's schedule? Do they play on Friday and Sunday?
Everybody does.
Doc.
Everyone.
But I'm wondering if they have like a Saturday game here because or a back-to-back. Because I want to talk about Vukcevic. 24.6 rebounds and 3 threes last night, did nothing else. But in his last 4 games, he's gone 14, 17, 7, and 24 last night. The 7-point game was foretold by me that don't play Vukcevic. They drop his minutes, and he's terrible in the second of a back-to-back. So if Washington does not have a back-to-back remaining, and it's just solo games here, I like Vukcevic. I think he's going to put up good stat lines if he's in a game that's not attached to a back-to-back. How are you feeling about that?
Rick, I failed to mention when I said every single team plays on Friday and Sunday, so there are no games on Saturday, none. So it's Thursday, Friday, Sunday. That's all we have left. And any team that played on Wednesday is not playing on Thursday. So the teams that play tonight are the teams that have 3 games left. So that they have a back-to-back, whoever is playing tonight. Or no, they don't. Yeah, they do. They're going to have Thursday, Friday. The teams that play on Thursday night. Anyway, I've got Vukcevic written down. I've got, where's Alex Sarr, Keyshawn Johnson, Justin Champagnie was very good last night. Bub is still balling. Kobe Jones, I think, could be sneaky in a deep league over these last couple games because Washington's pulling the plug, man. Everybody's going down. I love Vukcevic, and he doesn't have a back-to-back left because he's just going to play on Friday and Sunday.
Throw me the damn ball. You realize you just said Keyshawn Johnson when you meant Keyshawn George. Throw me the damn ball. I love me some Keyshawn Johnson. He was a trash-talking machine wide receiver in the NFL.
I was in a black hole yesterday. I haven't come out of it yet.
It's okay. Keyshawn George, Keyshawn Johnson. Shout out to Keyshawn Johnson. I actually have a Keyshawn Johnson jersey, Doc. Randomest thing ever. Fantasy Football Weekly, which became Fanball, launched my career. That we had auctions for our home league, right? And Rob Fithian, one of the co-owners, would buy like 10 jerseys. And if you bought that player, I should probably use a different reference here. If you won the bidding on a player, then and he would just randomly select like 10 guys, and you would like bid him players. And I won the bidding, and I got Keyshawn Johnson one year, and he threw a jersey at me, and I was like, cool, all right, I got a Keyshawn jersey, man.
Is Keyshawn sick? I think he's
Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah,
I don't know that. If he is, God bless him. I don't know anything about that.
I don't want to say it if it's not true, but I thought
I don't know. I'm locked in on the NBA, bro. I'm in a hole on the NBA. Also, I'm trying to close the deal in a couple of hockey championships this week. Also, I'm having a hard time getting into baseball, Doc. And you know why? Because basketball is just dominating my life right now. So I'm kind of treading water in my baseball leagues. I'm not tripping. I've got all year to get my team right and to just steamroll and start printing championships here. But I'm locked in on hoops, man. We got to help these people out here. I wrote down Bub. Look, I mean, we talked about Bub literally all year, so I'm kind of over it. Kevin Huerter last night. The Tuesday game that he missed was a rest game, and they rested a whole bunch of guys. Last night, 22, 4, and 7, 1 steal, 4 threes. He's a goodie guy, man. Look into him for these last couple of games for Chicago. I actually have Keyshawn George, Doc, written down as a drop. And here's why. He's been back for 2 games. The minutes have been low, and the lines have been lame. Last night, 13, 4, and 2, 2 threes. That's it. No defense. He has not been a goodie guy. He has not been the 1-1-1 block steal 3 guy that he was previously. And it's probably the minutes are down. And I don't know, maybe he's not quite at 100%, but I don't feel like Keyshawn George is going to be that money guy for people looking to close the deal on a championship this weekend. Do you?
I don't know. He had a decent game on Wednesday night. But
is that
he's
that decent to you? 13-4-2 with no D and 2 threes. That's not decent to me. That's pretty terrible.
He's been out of lineup, in and out of lineup. He's banged up. I think I could see them letting somebody else play instead of him. Also, Keyshawn Johnson is not sick, so I apparently was thinking of someone else.
Okay, good. Happy to hear that. Pell Larson, Doc, is a drop. Pell Larson picked up an ankle injury in the pregame, according to the Miami Heat, in a pregame lift. I don't know, maybe he's doing a squat or something, and something went haywire in his ankle, but that sucks. But now, they're going to want to get him right for the play-in tournament next week. So I don't know, maybe he's a tough guy and he comes back and plays. But to me, that looks like a drop. There's all kinds of other attractive options out here. So I think Pell Larson, he was a thing for, like, I can't even say a hot minute. It was like a whole minute. And I don't mean that like that, but like hot without the T. But I think it's time to send Pell Larson back to waivers for these last couple of games.
Yeah, he played well in 3 straight games, and I jumped on it, and I was like, he's good to go the rest of the way, and now it's over. So Jaime Jaquez and Pell Larson, get rid of them. They're done.
You brought up Jaime Jaquez? Bro, he is so deep in the doghouse right now. I don't think Jaime Jaquez is helping anybody right now.
He's not. Nobody has him. I'm just saying. I thought he was so good the first half last year, man, and it's just gone.
Something happened, man. Something happened. Doc, you're always Mr. Speculation, Mr. Drama. You're always trying to take the syringe and infuse drama into the situation, right? Like Nico's wife had a thing for Luka, and so Nico had to get out of town. Like, what?
By the way, dude, the fire Nico chants were awesome last night, and the fact that he was hiding in the tunnel so nobody could see him, perfect, absolutely
dude,
perfect.
Okay, let's take just a quick time out here. I have never seen anything like that in my life. Where, I mean, look, the pregame introduction going crazy for a guy on the other team. And this is Dallas. This is a spicy home environment, bro. Dude, at the 2006 finals after Miami beat Dallas, I'm doing the post-game show for NBA TV. I got a drunk Maverick fan with a Bud Light in his hand screaming at me and pointing at me and saying he's going to come kick my ass because the NBA rigged the series and gave Wade all those free throws. This guy was literally bosses and camera operators and stage managers had to hold this guy back, call for security, okay, because he's going through the concourse leaving after they had lost the championship. I've been in that arena a million times. They are spicy down there, bro, okay? Their thing is loud, rowdy, and proud or something like that. They've got a little slogan, right? And they live up to that. So to hear them cheer, and then when Luke is subbed out of the game with about a minute to go or whatever, right? 45 points. They're going crazy for a guy on the other team. It's like the Dallas fans completely gave up winning and did not care at all about how their team did that night. They were only there to see Luka and cheer on Luka to have a big game. And then they're chanting Fire Nico throughout the game. I've never seen anything like it, dude. I've never, ever seen anything like that in my life. And I've been covering this game for 30 years, bro.
And Soren said last night, we were sitting there watching it, and he's like, those poor fans, man. Like, they love Luka. They didn't know Luka was going to be a Mav for life. And, one of their things is MFFL, Mav fan for life. And it's Luka's crushed. They're crushed. Apparently everybody's crushed except for Nico. Dirk's
Fire
crushed.
Nico.
Cuban's crushed.
Dude, you noticed they had security around Nico too, right? It was as he was standing there in the tunnel.
I heard he hired a security team when all this went down to protect him at everywhere he goes. Bro,
that was smart. I'm telling. And by the way, I don't want to complete the thought. I don't. I abhor violence, and I'm a peaceful guy and all that kind of stuff. So All I'll say is that was a good decision by Nico Harrison, okay? Because in a state like Texas, I'll just say it this way. They have different laws in Texas and in a lot of southern states than they do in the northern states. And I'll leave it at that. And I think you all kind of know where I'm going with that. Okay. Doc, Isaiah Collier, our buddy, Isaiah Collier with the Utah Jazz, is a drop. Hamstring out on Wednesday. It was his first DNP since January 17th. Doc, this kid's been a warrior. All right. So the fact that Collier missed a game tells me that that's not rest. That's not late season tanky chicanery. The guy's hurt. So I think we can send Collier back to waivers. And Keontae George got the start for him last night.
Collier is on my drop list with a hamstring injury. That's it. He's done.
Justin Edwards. We applaud what you have done for the fantasy world. And now beat it. We got to go somewhere else. He missed last night's game with a back injury. So, Doc, it was a good little run. I'll tell you this much right now. I've got a buy low, sell high Dynasty Target article coming out at the beginning of next week. Quentin Grimes is going to be on the sell high side of that. Because, Doc, next year you're going to have Embiid, we think. You're going to have Maxey. You're going to have George. You're going to have Oubre. And so I see Quentin Grimes as a bench player next year. Justin Edwards might not even be rotational next year. He may get – think of it. Jared McCain's going to be coming back next year as well. So there's going to be a crunch here. But Justin Edwards to me is a drop right now. I think he may be done for the year.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I agree with Quentin Grimes. The reason Quentin Grimes blew up is because everybody went down and the Sixers just gave up and they just gave him the ball. That's not going to happen going forward. So that's a good call.
And finally, Doc, I wrote down Keegan Murray. Third straight DNP on Wednesday. It's not looking good, guys. And these are important games for Sacramento that he's missing. So they're not being careful with him like he's hurt. If you need to cut Keegan Murray to move on and you're in a man game crunch, go ahead. All right, Doc, take me into – do you have any other drops, by the way?
I think Al Horford and Peyton Watson are drops. Rashawn Holmes and Marcus Smart, drops. What about Mark Williams? Nurkic started last night. Williams didn't play for Charlotte. What are you thinking there? Is Mark Williams done? And they going to let Nurk finish this out? I don't know.
It was a part of a back-to-back. Miles Bridges did not play either. So I'm not ready. To go there. I'm not. I think Bridges and Mark Williams, I think they're going to play Friday and Sunday. If I believe that's how they have their game stacked here. But I don't think we drop Mark Williams or Miles Bridges. Now, Miles Bridges, Doc, and I know you've seen this, has been god awful over the last week. He's been playing. The minutes have been down. His shooting's been in the 20s and 30%. It's been just gross. But he's playing, and I do appreciate that. I think people should hang on to them. I
feel like it's been about a month that Bridges has been struggling, but and then a couple more potential ads. Just I want to throw these names out there. We don't have to go deep on these guys or even really talk about them. But Filipowski, dude, you see what he did last night? 30 and 18 with a fat stat line. He hit 13 of 17 shots. Sensabaugh had 22 points, 4 and 4 with 6 3-pointers. Johnny Juzang is playing 14 points, 5 boards and assists, a steal and 2 blocks. So those guys, Julian Champagny and your boy Keldon Johnson played well for the Spurs. Alex Caruso. Let's talk about this one real quick. Alex Caruso and Aaron Wiggins both started for Oklahoma City. Caruso had a great game. 19 points, 5 boards, 3 assists. I think 5 steals, 2 triples. And then Wiggins had 17, 5, and 3 with a steal and a 3-pointer. Meanwhile, Cason Wallace is out with a shoulder injury. Lou Dort has a knee problem. Are Dort and Wallace drops, and are Caruso and Wiggins ads right now?
Nope. I don't believe so. That was a part of a back-to-back for Oklahoma City. And after beating the Lakers to get that revenge. Then they're at Phoenix, knowing that they're going to crush Phoenix with Ousmane Dieng and the other Jalen Williams and Kenrich Williams and all these guys. Doc, so what I think happened there is it's just a rest game. And what OKC has shown us, and it's been very, very smart in my opinion, they want to keep their guys in rhythm. And they don't want to just shut guys down and then have to crank them back up. So, okay, last night you had a couple of guys out of the lineup, but they still played Chet Holmgren. They still played Isaiah Hartenstein. They still played, a lot of their main guys. So I think Jalen Williams played last night. J-Dub. Anyway. I don't think those guys are shut down for the year. I think they're going to come back and probably play both games. I don't know if they're going to play their usual minutes, but I just think OKC has this strategy of keeping their guys lathered up, keeping their guys in rhythm. Because think about this, Doc, and I think it's really smart for teams to operate this way because if you're an OKC, a Cleveland, a Boston, New York, the teams that are like not worried about the play-in tournament, dude, you have 5 days off. You have Monday through Friday off where you can chill, practice, rest, get stim, all that stuff, watch the other teams battle in the play-in tournament, and then you're going to play on Saturday or Sunday for game 1 of your playoff series, man. So don't rest them now. You've got all next week to rest them. Play them now. Keep them in rhythm. So I think that's what's up with OKC.
And then the last 3 guys, Colin Gillespie had 17 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 3 triples off the bench for Phoenix. I don't know why Bradley Beal's still playing, honestly. And Durant probably isn't coming back. So I think Gillespie is a guy that should be on your radar. And then Trey Lyles and Keon Ellis in Sacramento. Lyles has been making noise lately at 17 and 9 with two threes. Keon finally scored. He had 20 points, 6 3-pointers, steal and 2 blocks in a start for Sacramento. So maybe Keon Ellis and Trey Lyles are going to finish strong. I'm done.
I'm not a Trey Lyles guy, dude. I think it was like 2 or 3 dud lines in these non-Keegan Murray games. And then last night he had a game. And I told everybody yesterday, this is what Trey Lyles does. If he has 4 games in a week, 3 of them are going to be garbage. 1 of them is going to be really good. That's the Trey Lyles experience because he's a bench player. And when you start him, there's a law of diminishing returns. So I can't rock with you on Trey Lyles. He's just a guy that doesn't work out for me, and I've streamed him a bunch of times.
Keegan Murray's out.
No, I get it. I already said I think Keegan Murray's probably a drop candidate for people right now. You go knock yourself out with Trey Lyles, bro. Look at the game log. Look at the previous 2 games to the Pop game he had last night. I'm out. Right. I can't do it, dude. I can't do it. Give me some risers, dude. You get us started off in this segment. What's up?
My risers list is mostly tied to a lot of the guys we just covered. And if I was smart, I wouldn't have hit those last few guys at the end because I could have used them as risers. But you want to keep a close eye on Boston because unlike Oklahoma City, I don't think Boston is scared to put the B team out there and rest everybody. So the key here again is setting alarms, finding the starting lineups, and acting accordingly. If Porzingis is out, which he's gonna be, Luke Cornett is a must play. If Derek White or Drew Holiday are out, you want Peyton Pritchard in your lineup. In Cleveland, if their guards are out, you want Ty Jerome, et cetera, et cetera. You want to look at these teams that have it all locked up and roll with who's going to play. And the same thing with the bad teams. Philly, Washington, Raptors, New Orleans. I'm sure I'm forgetting 1 or 2. Washington. You want to see who's starting for those teams and then fire them up because they're going to play. And they're going to be no-namers. And who's the guy in Philly? I forgot to talk about him. Or did we not talk? Oh, no, not Philly. Is it Beekman that plays for the Nets?
Yes.
Yeah. 10
I know
assists.
nothing about him other than his name is Beekman, and I think he's a point guard, and I don't care.
He had 10 assists last night. He had a good game the night before that. And D'Angelo Russell is done, or he's not playing. So Beekman, I think, is one of those guys that you could just throw into a DFS lineup, or you could pick him up in a deep league and just run him out there. He's going to play, and he's probably going to get a bunch of assists.
I had a thought about Sunday. It's the Fantasy NBA today. Rick Kamla, Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. Doc, on Sunday, like none of the main dudes on Boston, none of the main dudes on Cleveland, none of the main dudes on OKC, because you've gotten all the way to Sunday, and then you've got the 5 days of rest. But can you imagine if you played Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on Sunday? And I don't know who they play, but it's obviously a meaningless game for them. And then, God forbid, something happens. Like
No.
the whole world would, it just, and like that, it's not like teams make decisions based on fan and media outcry for the most part. But we know the teams are crazy. What's the word? I'm struggling. I never struggled with word choice.
Superstitious.
They're just, dude, I'm having a moment here. I don't know.
Okay.
Stop. Just let's cut the tape. Okay. No, I'm kidding. But I see them resting. The main dudes on the big boy teams are not going to be playing on Sunday. Sunday is going to be, even though every team plays, Doc, Sunday is going to be a big time streamer day in fantasy basketball. Don't you think? I mean, that's when you get like Anthony Simons popping up for 40 points when nobody knew who Anthony Simons was, right? That's on that last day of the regular season.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Friday's that way either, because Cleveland, Boston, OKC, there's nothing for them to play for. They need everybody healthy. And if, God forbid, again, if somebody gets seriously hurt on Friday or Sunday for one of the good teams, it's disaster. And everybody's going to be like, why weren't you wrapping them in plastic before the playoffs got here? Because the regular season is over for those teams. It is literally over. Just play your bench. Take an L or get a dub. It doesn't matter. Unless OKC's chasing some kind of history. But Cleveland, I think on Thursday night, tonight, which we're going to talk about in a minute, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley. I don't think any of them are playing tonight.
They're not.
Yeah, they're out. And to me, that's smart. To you, that may be, no, it's their job. They got to go play. But we're close enough now that they can smell it. They can feel it. The playoffs are here for those teams. And I'm not putting my stars out there to risk coming down on somebody's foot and being out for 2 weeks. You know,
I'm okay with it now. I'm okay with it now. I'm also okay with the team keeping their playing their guys at least for a little bit to keep them lathered up and keep them in rhythm. I mean, we'll see how it goes. And if a team does that and one of their guys, God forbid, blows the tire, I'm not going to bang on that team. The Kendrick Perkins and all those guys will, but I'm not going to do that because you're playing your guys. They're healthy. Guys get hurt all the time in runs in the offseason or play a lot in runs in the offseason and don't get hurt. So I think a lot of that living in fear is not good living. Reed Shepherd, as I get to my risers list here, I just want to bring this up because I think Reed Shepherd is, by the way, that Dynasty article, the buy low, Reed Shepherd's going to be on the buy low side of that because I believe Fred VanVleet's going to be on another team next year. And I believe that Reed Shepherd might be the starting PG of the Houston Rockets next year, putting up great stat lines. Okay. Last night, 25-4, 2 steals, 6 threes in 37 minutes against the Clippers, who have one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. The game was at LA, and they played most of their guys except for Norman Powell. Reed Shepherd is a stud. Zach LaVine, Doc, is a riser. 27-11 last night with 4 threes. He had 105 points combined in his previous 3 games. He's like the hottest player in the league right now. Your guy Shaedon Sharpe, 37, 7, and 5 last night with 2 steals and 6 threes. He's been absolutely fantastic, and they don't look like they're shutting him down. It's the Shaden Sharp show right now, Doc. He should have 2 more killer games before the end of the year.
It is. He's going off. I mean, I hope they keep running him out there. I don't know what else he has left to prove. And your Reed Shepard call, like, that's the kind of player right there. We're resting Jalen Green tonight. Houston has nothing to play for. They're locked in, what, number 3?
Number 2, I believe. Are they locked in? Have they sewn that up? I know they're number 2 and the Lakers are number 3. Houston, there's a Y next to their name. Y means clinched division. I don't think they've clinched. No, they've clinched. Yeah, they're 3 games up on LA. Yep,
3 up
clinched.
on LA.
They have nothing to play for.
Nothing. And if you see Jalen Green and Freddie VanVleet, by the way, Fred VanVleet, my God, his shooting the last month, dude, it's 1 of 7 every single night. I swear. Every time I look, it's 1 of 7. He's been horrific. If Jalen Green and Fred Van can't shoot anymore are out, I'm firing up Reed Shepard in DFS. I will start him with confidence because you're right. Freddie V's gone next year, I believe, and they want to give Reed Shepard, like, this is a perfect 2 games to give that kid the keys to the car and see what he can do. And I can see Ime Udoka wanting to see that as well, and maybe the GM and the owner. So I love that call.
And I love the piggyback on it because Reed Shepard's probably going to be a thing Friday and Sunday with Houston having nothing left to play for. Jalen Green played 15 minutes last night. It was like, why? They didn't play Şengün. They didn't play all these other guys. And Jalen Green, like, dipped his toe in the water. It was weird. I want to blow through these here real quick, Doc, because we're getting kind of short on time. Vucevic, 20, 11, and 8. 1 block, 2 steals, 2 threes. Riser. And Chicago got a huge win last night over Miami to pretty much lock in the 9-hole in home court advantage in that play-in tournament game. But they might have one more game to play here to make that really official. Josh Giddey, 28, 16, and 11 on triple-double night in the NBA. 3 blocks, 2 steals, 3 threes. Golly. Scotty Barnes, 17, 11, and 5. 3 threes. Love you, Scotty, for playing. He probably insisted on playing last night. Adem Bono, rocking and rolling. 17-9 with 2 blocks, 35 minutes. He may be on the buy low dynasty target article because people, Embiid's coming back. Really? Is he? I'll believe that when I see that. So I think Adem Bono's got some staying power even going into next year. And then I was impressed with Matas Buzelis, Doc. Second of a back-to-back. He was the only cat that played the night before. They rested the other 4 main guys. He had 17 and 4 with 1 block, 1 steal, and 3 threes over 34 minutes. The consistency, the minutes, he's ascending heading into the end of the year. Loving what we're seeing from Matas Buzelis. Any comments on any commentary on any of that? Do you have any other risers to bring to the floor here?
Nope. Fallers.
Do you want to take us into your fallers list, Doc?
Yes.
And is Anthony Davis on that list?
He's not. Dallas still, they can still catch the Kings. Phoenix is out. They're done. So Dallas is in the playoffs, miraculously. But they're only 1 game behind the Kings. I wonder who they play. I didn't look at their schedule. But I feel like they think if they win and Dallas loses, they can get up to the 9. And I'd rather be a 9 than a 10. But then again, they're in the playoffs either way, and Anthony Davis is fragile. So do you want to run him out there? I don't know, but he's not on my list. Who is on my list is older stars on lock teams. So yes, Anthony Davis is on there. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Porzingis, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Cat, Tyrese Halliburton, Giannis, Brolo, Cade in Detroit, Jalen Green, Amen, Şengün, Brad Beal, and Chris Paul. Like, all those guys, those are older stars on teams whose fates are decided. You need to make sure that if they're not playing on Friday or Sunday, you get them out and you get a Reed Shepard or a whoever Beekman in your lineup and roll with it.
Jalen Pickett. Get a little Jalen Pickett in there.
Jalen Pickett.
Get a little Pickett in there for you. Find the Doughton game. Find the game where Doughton. It's probably going to be Sunday when Doughton gets a start and goes off and has a silly season stat line. My fallers, Anthony Davis, Doc. Bro, I didn't hear his name one time in the broadcast last night. I had the game on the whole time, had the sound up the whole time. I didn't hear his name one time, bro. He had 13, 11, and 6, one block. He had 27 points and 34 points in his previous 2 games. I thought he was hitting a high. I thought nobody on LA could guard him. Now, they were throwing double teams at him, right, to try to take the ball out of his hands, knowing that they don't have a 1v1 matchup for him. So I thought that was a really good tactic by J.J. Redick. But I also saw a guy going through the motions. I saw a guy blow off LeBron James right before the opening tip, right? And that's usually like bro hug time and, their little handshake and all that kind of stuff. And Davis walked right by LeBron James, didn't acknowledge him at all.
He did not acknowledge him after the game either. In fact, the only Lakers player or coach that Davis did not touch or talk to was LeBron James. And everybody thinks that LeBron knew that trade was happening, and probably I don't know. Yeah, that's rough.
So they've tried to have us believe that LeBron knew nothing about it and had nothing to do with it. I don't believe that. I don't believe that Rob Pelinka traded Anthony Davis without consulting LeBron James. I believe that Dallas just up and traded Luka without consulting with their other top players. That I believe. But I don't believe that Rob Pelinka did this without consulting with LeBron James. LeBron James is like, you can get Luka? Like, love me some AD. That's my dog. But go get Luka, brah. Whatever you got to do. So Davis, to me, and Doc's right. He may not even play in these last couple of games. But I saw a guy go through the motions last night. Jamal Murray. You go ahead and cut him. I don't think he's playing again this regular season. They're hoping he's ready by the playoffs. KCP picked up a knee injury last night. Doc did not return. Orlando's going to be in the play-in tournament early next week, so you're going to have to look elsewhere. And KCP was hitting kind of a high note here. Anthony Simons, Denny Abdia, we both believe they're done for the year. So do what you got to do there. Malik Monk out at least 2 weeks with a calf injury, according to Shams Charania. His season is over, just like last year. Jakob Poeltl didn't play Wednesday. Obviously, when he doesn't play, the pivot is to Orlando Robinson, O-Rob, in Doc vernacular. And then KJ Simpson. He took Jalen Wells out of the sky the other night, sent him to the hospital, got ejected. And then KJ Simpson backed it up with 6, 1, and 5, 3 steals, 1, 3 over 33 minutes. So he's a faller as well. Doc, we got to get out of here, man, so we can fire up the Thursday preview show. Any final words for the people on a very spicy, very electric, very interesting Wednesday night?
Yeah, cut Simpson and go pick up Gillespie of the Suns. I like that.
My guy. Doc's always got the great intel, man. He's Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. I'm Rick Kamla. Big shout out to Andre Lemouche as well. Big shout out to all of you for hanging out with us. Go to your favorite app store and download the Sports Ethos app with all of the silly season pop-ups and starting lineup stuff and guys dropping out of lineups. You need the Sports Ethos app now more than ever. Download it. It will shepherd you through the weekend into a championship. We have MLB and NFL blurbs out there for you as well and phenomenal coverage. Go to sportsethos.com, low dough, high content level. It's a great ratio and great bang for the buck for you. And also subscribe to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast feed. Subscribe to the Sports Ethos YouTube channel and the Fantasy NBA Today YouTube channel as well. We appreciate y'all. We will see you in just a couple of minutes with the preview show for Thursday night. See you there.